Namaskaaram. I have divided the first sargam of Sundara Kaandam, which has 210 shlokas, into 6 small sections. This is to provide justice to Valmiki's explanations and to include as much of the story as possible. Now let's go into the story of the first section of the first sargam or chapter of Sundara Kaandam, the self-realization. As the Vanaras gathered on the shores of the vast ocean below the Mahendra Parvata mountain, they faced a great challenge. Sita, the beloved wife of Rama and the queen of Ayodhya, was a prisoner in Lanka, which was situated across the endless waters. Several questions went through their minds. How could they reach her? The ocean stretched for miles. They felt that none among them possessed the power to cross it. One by one, the Vanara warriors admitted their limitations. Some said that they could leap 100 yojanas but not return. Others were worried that they could only make it halfway before their strength would fail. All the while, Hanuman had remained silent. Even though he was the son of the wind god, he had forgotten his own strength. The curse of the sages had made him forget his powers until the moment it was truly needed. That moment had finally arrived as he waited for someone to remind him of his powers. It was Jambavan, the wise bear and an elder of the group, who recognized Hanuman's hidden potential. Stepping forward, he spoke in a voice rich with experience and warmth. O mighty Hanuman, why do you sit in silence when the task before us is one that only you can fulfill? Have you forgotten who you are? You are the son of Pavana, the swift-moving wind. In your youth, you leaped to grasp the sun, mistaking it for a fruit. The gods themselves blessed you with strength beyond measure, speed that defies the eye, and a will unshaken by any force in the 3 worlds. You alone can cross this ocean. Rise now, O great Vanara, and remember your power. At these words of Jambavan, something stirred deep within Hanuman. Some long-forgotten fire flickered to life in his soul, a memory long buried within him. He had once flown through the sky, his strength limitless and his speed unmatchable. The blessings of the gods had never gone away, only his remembrance of his power was masked. And now, as he was standing in front of the mighty ocean, he felt his true self awaken. Standing on the edge of the Mahendra Parvata mountain, Hanuman, the undefeated warrior, faced a mission to cross the great sky in search of Sita, whom the demon king Ravana had kidnapped. With the realization of his power, he sent ripples across the land. Birds took to the air in frantic flight. Trees shook and cracked under the force of his stance and scattered all the creatures of the forest. Some were caught in the wake of his sheer strength. The mountain had exquisite minerals that glowed in shades of deepest blue, soft pink, and burning red. It was alive with supernatural creatures, yakshas and kinnaras, gandharvas and giant serpents, all who could change their forms at will. Among them, Hanuman stood with an energy as commanding as the mythical serpents that coiled in the bottoms of sacred waters. Standing on top of the towering mountain and ready to fulfill that destiny, Hanuman, with deep reverence, raised his hands in prayer, honoring the great gods. First, Surya, the sun god, then Indra, the ruler of the heavens, next Pavana or Vayu, the wind god, and his own divine father, then Brahma, the eternal creator, and finally to all the celestial forces that govern the universe. Finally, turning eastward, he bowed once more to his father, drawing strength from the very wind that had given him life. With all determination, Hanuman willed his body to expand, and his frame grew continuously. The assembled Vanaras watched in astonishment as his muscles tensed because of the immense force. Planting his powerful limbs against the mountain's rocky face, he pressed down with all his might. The earth groaned beneath him and shook under his power. Thus, the great journey to Lanka had begun. Now for some reflections on this section. First reflection: the silence of forgotten strength. Hanuman is silent when the rest speak about their limits, but that silence is not weakness. We often underestimate ourselves because we forget the inner strength within us. Sundara Kaandam begins by reminding us that strength is not something we acquire, it is something we rediscover. Second reflection: the role of Jambavan. Hanuman awakens not by effort alone, but by Jambavan's gentle reminder. This often happens when someone sees our potential before we do. Jambavan says, "Have you forgotten who you are? The task before us is the one that only you can fulfill." Now, this invites us to consider who has been a Jambavan in my life and whose Jambavan can I be. This shows the mentor-mentee relationship is a sacred one. Third reflection: awakening as a return to who we are. Hanuman does not develop new powers, but only remembers who he truly is. It is an awakening of returning to our original nature. Just like in yoga, we don't become divine, but we discover the divinity within us. Hanuman's leap starts the moment he discovers this truth. Fourth reflection: humility and power. Hanuman exemplifies the essence of humility in understanding when and how to apply his powers. When these abilities are applied to service, the result becomes something sacred. The immense strength, size, and radiance of Hanuman are all aimed at one noble purpose: to serve Rama and redeem Sita. In this journey, strength becomes dharma, action becomes seva, and true might becomes grace. Fifth reflection: the leap as a symbol of willpower. This leap of Hanuman across the ocean symbolizes the internal leap each one must make within. Just before Hanuman leaps, nature shudders, the earth trembles, like we do when we are on the brink of a significant step or change. His story shows us that with courage and will, we can stretch the limit of what's possible. Our journey begins only when we finally come to trust our own strength. Jai Shri Ram.